Hey guys, so I definitely think there is a dichotomy on most people on YouTube seem to believe that Iskall85 is innocent and he did nothing wrong. Then you head over to Reddit, and I would say a lot of people on Reddit believe he is guilty and he is, these are victims. In fact, the Reddit Fred, the mega Fred on the HermitCraft, this is a very large subreddit. They basically say that these are victims. Since this information was revealed, multiple victims have published statements detailing what happened, and then they have 4 victims in their statements, and in each statement, they identify themselves as victims. Now, from the comment section below and my interactions with the Iskall85 fan base, I have realized that many of his fans do not believe these are victims. And they believe that what Iskall85 was doing, even though it was wrong, was, it was okay to do so. I'm going to read you some of my favorite comments. And so there's a lot of comments about Stressmonster. So C is part of this because C resigned at the same time as Iskall85. Now I'm going to clarify exactly, what her part of it was. I think C was just friends with Iskall85. Really good friends, constantly playing together on HermitCraft and Vault Hunters. I really hope she's in contact with folks, whether from HermitCraft or her own private life. It's been playing on my mind a lot. Just hope her and her kids are safe and as okay as they can be. I'm not really understanding how Stress is involved. I know they and Iskall were close, but I'm not seeing why she would insert herself to resign with this news. Yeah, that actually is a really interesting point. Couldn't Stress just resign later and then therefore not be involved with the Iskall85 drama? By resigning at the same time, it seems like her name will get attached to Iskall85. If she just waited a month or 2 months when this thing died down, I think she could resign at that point in time. Or even if you're not making videos, you don't need to resign, right? Iskall hasn't made a video in 4 months, and he's still part of the HermitCraft at that time. So even if you don't want to do videos or engage with the HermitCraft community, you could still just resign maybe next year. Even next year, I'm not talking about like a year from now. I'm talking about like next year, 2025. Then it wouldn't have affected her. The news was probably deeply shocking to her as Iskall's closest friend. I understand her wanting to distance herself from what's painful, Vault Hunters and HermitCraft. This is my assumption too. I feel so awful for her. Almost every content she made involved Iskall. It's not going to be hard for her emotionally. It's not just going to be hard for her emotionally as Iskall's friends. It's also a heavy hit on her content creation since Iskall was pretty much her partner. And the fact that people are going to be relating Iskall to her due to the closeness, and other creators were removing Iskall from video titles, thumbnails, and merch, Stress will have the worst time doing it. That if it's even possible at all, is like her only option is to take a leave. So that's interesting. It seems like that Iskall and Stress were making a lot of content together. So as you saw from Mumble Jumble and the rest of the crew, they are deleting as much Iskall content from titles, from thumbnails, from even entire videos are being removed. Entire podcasts are being removed because of his involvement. It might be, again, harder for her to do it because she has so much content. Playing on the HC server might just hurt too much. I can imagine logging on will just remind her that 1, she's no longer playing with her best friend, and 2, the reason she's no longer playing with her best friend is because it turns out he was secretly awful. I hope in time she heals and is able to return, but even if she never comes back, I wish her all the best. Could be because all of her comments would be asking about Iskall. Yeah, very good point. Very, very good point. I mean, if she does make a video, then people will ask about Iskall, because her main project on HermitCraft was a collab with him, etc., etc. She didn't insert herself, she just stepped away quietly, probably to avoid the finger pointing and assumptions that people are making with no information, and to deal with any emotions she may be feeling away from the internet and fans and expectations. If I remember correctly, one of these statements says she's got nothing to do with all this, and they're asking to leave her out of this. I just figured that between her having been uploading less frequently and thus perhaps not really wanting to be involved in HermitCraft anymore, though that is purely speculative on my end, along with Iskall being the main person she ever interacted with, she figured now would be as a good time as any to step down. Good luck, Stress. If you ever choose to come back, I will be watching, and good luck. Hope all goes well. Damn, that's all I can say. Damn, my heart is broken for Stress, her kids, and the victims. Thank you for making your effort on making all this information more compact. Thank you for allowing this to take place in this sub and conducting it in a responsible, orderly manner. Even if everyone is squeaky clean, or at least appears to be, it goes to show you that the controversy of any type is avoidable. I'm glad the hermits and those associated are handling this professionally, and I feel bad for everybody involved, especially those who brought these allegations and complaints about Iskall to light. Workplace harassment is no joke, and no matter the nature of it, you should not be using yourself, your status, or yourself, for that matter, as leverage against another person. Stress, I always enjoyed your episodes, and your voice always made me smile. I wish this never happened, and I will miss you. If you ever come back, we will be there to watch you. Take care. I have been wondering what happened, and now I have a very bad taste in my mouth. I know what it's like to be manipulated like that, and how much you can spiral down a deep, dark hole. I truly hope the victims have the support they need to get past this, because I know that it can become really hard when you have no one to talk about these sort of things, especially when you can't recognize it yourself, that you're getting manipulated like this, and it goes on for years. Although a part of me is going to have fond memories watching Iskall, and it's honestly a shame that now hundreds of HermitCraft videos may remain unwatchable to some, including me, because of that sour taste that sits in your mouth. I think it's important to note that those memories are always going to be there, and that you shouldn't guilt yourself for having those memories, because that doesn't help the experience. Moving past the past is hard but helpful. Wishing the best for Stress always. Damn, I hope Stress is doing all right. Best wishes to Stress on her future plans. Some news that Stress is doing okay would be great, though, as from my understanding, she's already had a pretty rough year prior to all of this. Yeah, that's the only part that really bugs me too. I wasn't a big Iskall watcher, so deleting him from my life isn't a huge sad ordeal. It just feels really unfair to Stress if her YouTube career ends on this note. I hope Stress is alright, and I hope she has fun working on her music. Thank you all for handling this so spectacularly. As a victim of a similar situation, the support and professionalism towards the victims is so incredible to see. I am disgusted to read all this. I am pleased to see the hermits handling this properly. I hope Stress can one day start making YouTube videos again. For me, as a stranger, it hurts to realize that Iskall is not the person we thought he was. But for Stress, it must feel like an absolute backstab. Maybe she could do a LP or join a new SMP or something. It would suck if this stopped her from making Minecraft content altogether. She seems like a sweet person, and she clearly enjoys making these videos. So what happened to Stressmonster? I think the speculation is pretty on point. A lot of her videos do seem to involve Iskall, and Iskall is, quote, basically her work partner, if you want to put it that way. And yeah, the tension, obviously Iskall they will ask questions about Iskall, should she make a video. So hopefully, best wishes to Stress, and hopefully she returns sometime soon. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Bye, guys.